WIFO FM in Jesup. Big Dog Country Radio. Butch Hubbard here with you on this Tuesday morning. It is the 15th day of October. And it's now time for our annual DNR show with the game wardens. And in the studio with us right now is Bob White. And hopefully Randy will be showing up soon. Our show this year is being brought to you by Sloan Deer Processing, Jesup Tire Shop, and also Interstate Credit Union, Harris Real Estate, and the Omaha Federal Credit Union. And Bob, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing real good.
Doing good, huh?
Glad to be here.
We were just talking about it a second ago. We're glad to see some of this rain coming in right now.
Yeah. Much needed rain. It's been dry. Finally getting some.
All right. I do want to let folks know that if you have any questions at all for the game wardens, you can text them in at 912-427-3711 about the upcoming hunting season. Anything to do with the hunting season at all in any type of way with the different areas that they look after out there in the wildlife area, in terms of the river or the hunting areas or rules and regulations or what you should do if this happens or what you should do if that happens. You can text them in at 912-427-3711, or you can call them in. Call them in at 427-3711, and Leanne will write down the question and bring the information into us, and we will get that information on the air and ask the question to them so they can answer your questions. So call their questions in at 427-3711 or text them in at 912-427-3711 if you have any questions at all. This is your chance to be able to ask game warden without him standing in front of you out there in the wild while you're claiming, I didn't know that.
Hear that a good bit.
Yeah. Ignorance is no excuse for the law.
No excuse.
No excuse for the law.
No excuse.
I didn't know that. Well, ignorance is not the excuse.
Yeah. That's why we put out these regulation books every year, so there's no excuse.
No excuse. Once again, Game Warden Bob White in the studio with us this morning. Bob, we appreciate you being here and taking time out of your busy schedule here.
Yep, no problem.
It's the pedal of the metal this Saturday, isn't it?
Yep, starting Saturday. Yep, it'll pick up for us for sure until January the 12th.
Okay. January 12th is when it ends.
That's when it'll end, yep. We have one of the longest hunting seasons in the United States, second to South Carolina. So we have about 3 months of rifle season, so it's plenty of time to get out there and kill them deer.
So how do you think the deer season is going to be this year?
So far, it has started out really good. We've had 4 really big quality bucks already killed this year during our, we had some early season check-in hunts down on Sandsville. Penn Holloway, a big deer and big buck, was killed from each of those 2 wildlife management areas. Checked a guy a couple of days ago. He killed a big 8-point over on Little Satilla. So that's the 3rd one. And then the 4th coming from Pine Island over in Long County, he scored 136. That's unheard of for, down in the southeast. Wayne County, Long County area, but that was on public land, a 136. That was a monster buck. So this season is definitely shaping up to be a good one.
Now, was that with bow and arrow or the primitive guns?
The one in Little Satilla was primitive weapon, muzzleloader. The 2 on Sandsville, Penn Holloway was regular rifles. I'm not sure about the one on, the one in Pine Island was a regular rifle as well. On our WMAs, we do have some early check-in hunts, and they're allowed to use modern firearms, and that's what that was.
Okay. All right. Someone just texted in, can a child under 16 hunt management area, and if with an adult, if both can tote weapons?
Kids under 16 can hunt on management areas. They can hunt by themselves if they've had the hunter education course. We'll talk about the hunter education in a minute, but as long as they have the hunter education course at the age of 12, they can hunt by themselves.
Okay. What age is the earliest that a child should
take hunter ed?
Yeah.
If you think your child is ready, there's really no age limit.
There's no down.
No. But a child, even with hunter education, cannot hunt alone unless he's 12 years old or 12 to 15.
All right. So they've got to be
at least 12 to hunt by themselves.
At least 12 to hunt by themselves.
Right. So a 10-year-old can go in and take the class.
Right.
And he'll have it, but he can't legally hunt by himself until he turns 12.
Okay.
So he'll have to be with a licensed adult until the age of 12.
All right, that was our first question this morning. Once again, you can call in or text in questions for Bob White, game warden, during our annual DNR show this morning at 912-427-3711, 427-3711. You can call them in. Leanne will write them down and bring them into the studio, or you can text them in, and they'll pop up here on the screen. And so, Bob, what are some of the new stuff that folks should know this year about hunting here in South Georgia?
Not a lot of major changes. One big change for us, if you have a hunting regulation book, you can look on page 6. The state they're kind of running a little trial period this year. We're going to allow air guns to be used for taking big game like deer.
Air guns.
Air guns.
Okay.
The stipulation with that is it has to be a 30 caliber air gun or larger. 30 caliber is pretty large. I've never seen one, but we grew up shooting the 17s and the 22. You pump them up and shoot your squirrels with. But the state this year is allowing people to hunt deer with air guns. But like I said, the stipulation is they got to be a 30 caliber or larger.
That's a big air gun.
Yes, I've never seen one, but evidently they're producing them, and they're out there on the market where people can buy. And
why would a person want a 30 gauge air gun over just a regular gun? Any reason for that?
Yes, there is. If you're a convicted felon, you cannot by law go out there and hunt with a firearm. But you can hunt with archery equipment, and you can hunt with these new air rifles.
Okay.
Because they're not firearms.
All right.
If you're in the city, you cannot hunt with a firearm inside of a city. But I don't think there'd be any stipulations against using air guns, because I know they're allowed to use archery equipment in the city. So I would think that they would allow these air rifles as well. So there's two reasons right there to use them. The quietness of them. So if you're in maybe a neighborhood out in the county that you can legally use a firearm, but you can use these air rifles and they wouldn't be quite as loud, or shouldn't be loud at all. I've never shot one. Seen them on TV, but I've never seen one in hand. I think they might be quite costly. I don't know. I'm not here to market the air guns, but like I said, the state is going to be allowing the use of air guns this year.
Okay. All right, we have Game Warden Bob White in this morning here on our annual DNR show here on WIFO 105.5 FM. Not only can you hear the show, you can also listen to it on our website at bigdogcountry.com on live stream, and you can watch it. We've got it on video, too. See, Bob, you can see yourself on the screen. So you can go to bigdogcountry.com and not only listen to the show on our website, you can also watch the show on our website. And, of course, listen to it right here on 105.5 FM. And we've got another question that's come in here. It says, can you hunt with, let me see if I can read this now. Can you hunt with slugs during black powder season?
Slugs. No, black powder, primitive weapon is for primitive weapons only. Slugs would be considered a modern type firearm.
Okay, so can't do that the rest of this week.
No. Unless you're under 16 and under. Youth are allowed to, for the primitive weapon week, they're allowed to use modern firearms.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yes.
And
that's on management areas and on private property.
And what age is youth?
Under 16.
Under 16. All right, the time now is 9:11. We're going to take a quick break to have a word from our sponsors. Have your questions ready. You can call them in at 427-3711. Leanne will write them down and bring them into the studio, or you can text them in at 912-427-3711. Our annual DNR show with Game Warden Bob White, and we'll be back in 90 seconds with more information that you need for this upcoming hunting season.
Interstate Credit Union has all the ingredients you need of a financial institution, and we have 5 branch locations to serve you. You get the services you need, and your money stays here in the community. You can relax because you're doing business with people you know and people who know you. Membership is open to 10 counties. It's easy to join, so call, click, or stop by one of our 5 branch locations and become a member today. Member NCUA.
Sloan Deer Processing, owned and operated by Sandra and Jerry Sloan. 7 days a week, they'll be there for all your processing needs. They'll skin and clean the deer for you and make sausage, cube steak, hamburger meat, stew meat, and also slice for jerky. So bring them on. Look for their new sign on Highway 301 in the Broadhurst area. State inspected and certified. Sloan Deer Processing. When you're ready, they're ready. 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. Call Sandra at 202-6681, 202-6681, or Jerry at 202-7388, 202-7388. Sloan Deer Processing.
Harris Real Estate has been serving this area since 1972, and we proudly state that real estate is our business. Whether it's a home, rental, commercial endeavor, or land, we can help serve you. Give us a call at 427-6028 or stop by the office located at 141 East Cherry Street. Visit our website at www.harris-realty.net. Harris Real Estate is owned and operated by Mark Williams. Call us today for all your real estate needs.
13 minutes after 9 o'clock, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, our annual DNR show with Game Warden Bob White in here this morning, taking your questions. And you can do that a couple of ways. You can text them in at 912-427-3711 or call them in at 427-3711. If you call them in, Leanne will write them down and bring them in the studio. So if you have any questions at all, this is your opportunity to ask a game warden a question without, nose to nose out there in the woods when something you may be doing wrong. So y'all stay pretty busy during, this. Let's just say what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is, what should people look out for this first weekend? I know y'all be extremely busy. There'll be a lot of hunters out there. They're excited. They've been getting things ready. What should people do to be careful and safe and still have a good hunt out there this coming weekend?
This weekend is no different than any other weekend. You always want to be safe. Want to think about safety. Identify your targets. Wear your proper safety equipment. Your harnesses up in your tree stands if you're climbing. Make sure you're wearing these orange vests. If you're coming out in the afternoons, make sure late in the dark, make sure you turn a flashlight on. Seems like most of the people that get shot are in the afternoon. They're after the hunt. They're coming out of the woods, and they cross paths with another hunter, and that other hunter thinks that they're a deer, and they shoot them. So if you're coming down late in the afternoon, make sure you turn that flashlight on, to get back to your truck, whether you need it or not, just to let other hunters be aware, that you're a hunter coming out and you're not a deer walking through the woods.
Now, is this from the hunting, of course, is day hunting. Is it from sunrise to sunset or from first light to last light?
Right. For deer hunting, it's 30 minutes before sunrise to 30 minutes after sunset. So 29 minutes after sunset is fairly dark.
It is.
Especially
in the woods.
In the woods, in the swamp. But the legal hunting hours are still there. So you can still legally kill a deer, but you have to make sure you identify your target. Because like I said, we've had family members shoot other family members, kids kill their dads. And that's just not how we want to, start out. And of course, you don't ever want to do that. But that's just make sure you identify your target.
Definitely. Make sure it's a deer.
Yeah. Because I'll be out there in the woods too.
Make sure it's a deer, not just something rustling around in the in the bushes.
And also the first Saturday and Sunday this weekend is buck only. So you still need to identify that deer as being a legal buck. So no does allowed this weekend. Saturday and Sunday is buck only. Starting Monday, I think that's the 21st, then you can start shooting does.
That's right. 21st is Monday. So bucks only Saturday and Sunday.
That's right.
No does.
Yep.
And does can start on Monday.
That's right. On Monday all the way through to the January 12th.
Okay. Somebody just text in. Hunting WMA 50 yards off the road, but where does the start at? The center of the road or the wood line?
That's kind of splitting hairs.
Mm-hmm.
If you're 49 yards off the road, that's close enough. So just make sure you're off the road. We try to deter people from climbing right next to the road.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, if you're 48 yards or 49 yards, just get off the road around 50-yard mark.
Right. The roads are not too wide out there in the WMA.
And we're not going to go out there and step
roads.
it off.
Yeah.
But if you can't hunt 20 yards off the road, we want you far enough away. You're not going to pose a risk or, to people riding by, or they not, just for safety reasons, we want those hunters at least 50 yards off the road.
Okay. And it's hunting in the WMA is what we're talking about there. So those are dirt roads and not very wide anyway.
Right.
And
yeah.
so
Most of them are single lane.
Yeah. Most of them are single lane and so forth. So, that's, like you said, it is splitting here. It's not like a 4-lane highway out there in front of the radio station.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you're right around 50 yards off. Not 20, not 30, not 40, but 50.
Yeah.
Anywhere from 48, 49, 50, 50.
Right.
In that area.
Right.
You just want a safe hunt out there.
Exactly.
All right. 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, our annual hunting and fishing show here with our game warden, Bob White. If you have any questions at all, give us a call at 912-427-3711, or you can text us at 912-427-3711, and you'll be able to answer, the game warden can answer any questions Medican that you call in or text in, 427-3711, 912-427-3711. You can text in or call in your questions for Game Warden Bob White. All right, Bob, what else do we need to highlight this morning here on the DNR show?
Right, we got a few more major changes this year. Not as major as the air gun deal, but we alligator hunters, they used to be restricted. They had to be at least 12 years old before they can go out there and participate in the hunt. Mm-hmm. They removed that age requirement. So now, if they're under 12, if you got a kid and say he's 10 or 11, 12, he can go out there and participate in the hunt now. So they removed that age restriction.
Okay.
So we just had a new guy, Matt, come in for Long County.
Matt from Long County.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Matt, and I'm trying to read your last name there.
Cyclistus.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all still trying to read that last name.
Matt.
That's there, Matt.
Now, you say Matt's the new game warden. Tell us about that.
Yep. Well, he's gone through the hiring process, the training process. It was, 20-something weeks?
26 weeks training in the academy. It was 11 weeks of basic post and then 15 of the Game Warden Academy.
Okay, and so how long have you been on the job there, Matt?
Year and a half. I've been hired for a year and a half.
You're getting, the wetness behind the ears is going away now. You're getting a little experience under your belt.
That's right, yep.
All right,
had
good.
6 months of FTO under Bobby here.
All right, can you pull that mic up a little bit?
Sir.
There you go. And a little closer to you there. Well, good. I'm glad you were able to come in this morning, Matt.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, me too, because it's kind of tough doing this by myself. I kind of wonder where Randy's at. I think he overslept this morning.
Yeah, he must have.
So if anybody out there knows Randy's number, give him a call and wake him up. Get him up here.
All right, here we got questions coming in here, left, right, forwards, and backwards. So let's see here. Oh, we got just a couple called in there. On private property, how far do you have to be from a neighbor's property line?
On any property line, there is no distance. You can hunt right on the line. When it becomes illegal is when you cross those property lines to put out bait, to put out scent, trail cameras, or if you kill a deer on your property and he runs across the property line and you cross over where you do not have permission to be, that's when you're breaking the law. But legally, you can hunt right on the property line. You can even face your neighbor's property. You're not breaking any laws until you step foot on that property.
Okay. All right.
So there is no set distance for how far you have to be away.
So let's say that just gonna make a fun thing here. Deers be popping down the property line, just happens to be just on your side of the line, but you shoot the deer and he runs a little bit and then falls down on the neighbor's property. What happens then?
Okay. Legally, you have to call that property owner, contact him, and get permission to go and retrieve your deer.
Okay. All right.
So if you kill him and he runs across the property line and you go get him, then you're trespassing without permission. So you're breaking the law at that point.
All right, WIFO FM in Jesup, our annual DNR show. Listening to it right here on 105.5 FM, or you can watch it live on our website at bigdogcountry.com. We got it on video, bigdogcountry.com. Just go to live stream and click on it. All right, another question text in. Can you take dogs and coon hunt, Paulks?
Paulks pasture.
Okay. Can you take dogs and coon hunt on Paulks pasture?
I would have to refer that to the game management because Paulks pasture is down in Glenn County. Most of our WMAs do allow coon hunting. It has to be in season. Anytime there's a question about any particular WMA, such as Paulks pasture, look in our regulation book. Look under that particular WMA, and it'll have its own set of hunting dates, restrictions, and laws and rules that pertains to that particular WMA. But I would, like I said, refer that again over to game management down in Brunswick. Let me look up the number real quick. It is... let's see, Coastal Game Management, 262-3173.
Say that again.
That's area code 912-262-3173. And that's the game management guys. They're the ones that's actually in charge of these WMAs. But first of all, just look inside the regulation book, look back under Paulks pasture, and it'll give you a list of the dates and what you can and cannot do on that particular WMA. If you can't find it, give game management a call, and they should be able to help you out with that one.
All right, our annual DNR show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. We're going to take a quick break here and hear from our sponsors, and we'll be back more with our game wardens. Stay tuned.
The Jesup Tire Shop has been serving this area since 1942, and they have all your tire, brake, and exhaust needs. Jesup Tire has car, truck, farm, and industrial tires. As your need for tires change, Jesup Tire is there to meet those needs with Toyo, Cooper, and Goodyear. They'll change the way you drive forever. Get the right tire for your vehicle at the Jesup Tire Shop. Stay with the folks that know the tire business because tires is their business. Jesup Tire Shop, located at 795 West Cherry Street in Jesup.
Jesup Tire Shop for all your hunting tire needs.
Change is one big thing you can count on. And as life changes, you can count on Altamaha Federal Credit Union to help keep you and your family's finances on solid ground. We'll help you keep more of what you earn and make the most of what you have. Visit us to see how we can guide you and your family towards financial success through all life's changes. Altamaha Federal Credit Union, Jesup, Ludowici, and Scriven. Visit us at altamaha.org. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, 925, 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, our annual DNR show. Regular hunting season begins this Saturday, so we got the game wardens in here this morning to give you the latest information, plus take your questions. You can call them in or text them at 912-427-3711. If you call them in, Leanne will write them down and bring them into the studio here. If you text them in, they should pop up here on the computer screen as they have been, and I'll just read them here to our game wardens, and they can answer your questions. All right, Matt, Bob, let's get going here. Somebody texted in, what do you do if you find someone hunting on your land? What do you do if you find someone hunting on your land?
Well, if you know somebody's been hunting on your property, you can give us a call. We'll meet with the landowner. The landowner will take us out, show us where they find the sign, and we'll start checking on it for them. If the landowner walks out there and catches somebody in the act of hunting, if you can get a tag number or maybe ask who they are, get some information so we can maybe run them down and talk to them about it and see why they're over hunting without permission or lands of another. I don't know, Matt, you got anything to add to that?
No, that about covers it. What we do require now a lot, if they're not in the act when we get out there, is we have to get a landowner affidavit form filled out. And you can fill that out on the spot if you want, or we can leave it with you, and that basically just gives us permission to check on your property and handle, and hunt without permission issue if we catch them in the act, just checking on your property.
And it's always a good idea not to be confrontational to someone's holding a gun.
Yeah, we definitely don't do that. So, yeah, if you run across somebody like that, just give us a call. And like Matt said, we'll give you that land affidavit. So we'll start checking on your property and trying to catch them, out there where they're not supposed to be.
All right, somebody called in a question here. What can you do about deer eating sunflowers? Can you get a permit to keep them out or what?
If you have to get the permits, you have to have 3 acres or more, and it has to be for commercial gain. So if it's just in your garden in the backyard, they make it's a commercial product, and it's a deer deterrent. You spray it on your plants, and it's supposed to keep the deer from eating them. It smells real pungent and strong. After the rain, then you'll have to reapply it, but they do sell it at these local stores. It's just a deer deterrent. You spray it on your crops, your garden, and whatever, and it's supposed to keep the deer out.
Okay. Because they like to make a buffet of flowers.
Yeah, they're like a goat. They'll eat about anything.
Yeah. All right, someone text in here to our line here at 912-427-3711. How do you report your kill?
Okay, well, there's several ways to report the kill. Most people today are downloading our app that we've had out for a couple of years. It's called the Go Outdoors app. Like everyone else, Georgia's got an app for things like that. So download the app. You can record your deer harvest or turkey harvest during turkey season. You have 72 hours to get that confirmation number. Okay, if you don't have a smartphone, there's a 1-800 number. It's the 800-366-2661 to report your deer kill.
All right. We've had other questions, but I'm going to read this one first because this is from the boss right here. Okay?
Okay.
It's not a question. It's just a comment. Okay?
All right.
It says, and this is from Mark Williams.
Okay.
Okay? I want to thank Bob and Matt and all of our game wardens for the job they do day in and day out serving the outdoorsmen and women of our state. They are the best in the business.
Awesome. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting 2 thumbs up here from Mark this morning. Way to go, Mark. And once again, you can listen to the show as a lot of folks are on 105.5 FM. You can also watch and listen to the show on our website at bigdogcountry.com and just go down and click on live stream. I'm going to let you read this right here because I don't want to mess it up. You can kind of read it, get the words on it. I'm not sure if they're asking a question or if they're making a comment. So I'm going to let you read that question or comment that came in from someone.
Penn Holloway needs to be a quota hunt instead of. Okay, I think he's making a comment saying it needs to be a quota hunt instead of a come on, come all for safety due to the amount of hunters. Yeah, and that's a possibility if there's
Penn Holloway what? WMA?
WMA. Penn Holloway is WMA.
Okay.
The way that they combated that is they opened up Penn Holloway, Sanzavilla, across the river they opened up Buck Island, Pine Island, all the same weekend to combat the, the come on, come all. Used to it was everybody would go to the one WMA that was open. So this year they've opened up multiple WMAs to combat that problem of everybody going to the one WMA.
Okay.
So that's how they fix that problem. Instead of going quota, people just can be a little tough, putting in your quota and application and waiting on your draw. Whereas like the way it is now, you can just plan your hunt and be there. Like I said, we opened Penn Holloway, Sanzavilla, Pine Island, Buck Island. I don't remember how many hunters we had, Matt, checked in, but it wasn't so many that we needed to make it a quota hunt.
There was actually some good deer killed on this hunt this past weekend, so they were pretty successful in getting them spread out like that. They didn't have a lot of hunters, in one area at one time, so everybody took advantage of it. I know on the Long County side there was a few nice deer killed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had 3 nice ones over here in Wayne County killed. as well.
Okay, I'm being corrected by a friend a little earlier when I said 30 gauge. Well, it was 30, supposed to be 30 caliber on the air gun.
On the air
gun.
Yep.
He says it's 30 caliber, not gauge. Thanks for Charles for pointing that out to me. In gauge, the lower the number, the larger the bullet. In caliber, the higher the number, the larger the bullet. Thank you, Charles, for correcting me. I don't know what I'd do without my best friend keeping me in line. He does a good job. Charles does a good job of that.
We need friends like that to keep us
Yes, we do. Keep us in line. We need friends. You need friends to keep you in line sometimes, huh? All right. All right, let's see here. Hey, says someone text in, hey, we didn't know about the dog hunt they're having in San Sevilla. Why couldn't we know about it? We would love to hunt it with dogs.
Ah, okay. Well, we publish these hunting and regulation books every year. They normally come out, and normally they'll be printed or published on the internet first, because it may take a little bit longer to get them actually printed in the book and out to the general public. But normally they're online around July sometime.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been out there. So it's just kind of up to the hunters, and it's their responsibility to go and check in all the WMAs to see when the hunts are.
And the website for that is?
Website is the website for pretty much catch-all everything is GeorgiaWildlife.com.
Georgia spelled out?
GeorgiaWildlife.com. You can do about anything, look up anything dealing with DNR on that website.
GeorgiaWildlife.com.
You can sign up for hunter education classes, boater education classes, maps of our WMAs, any of our hunts on the WMAs. You can go to GeorgiaWildlife.com, and it's all right there. Kind of like a one-stop shop for all.
Okay. All right, got Bob White in this morning along with Matt. What's your last name, Matt?
Secalistus.
Okay. Gabe works with the Department of Natural Resources, and they're in here this morning giving us all kinds of great information about the upcoming hunting season, keeping things safe, keeping you legal. If you have any questions at all, you can text them in or call them in the same number, 912-427-3711. If they're called in, Leanne will write them down and bring them into the studio. If they're texted in, they'll pop up here on the computer screen. Somebody wants to know, there's a question text in, how many deer killed on management hunts this last weekend? Do y'all know?
Any idea?
No, I don't know. I'd have to check with the game management folks. On this check-in hunt, they bring all the kills, go down to the check station, and they keep a record. And I haven't run into them or talked to them, so I'm not 100% sure on that one. I know there was a decent amount killed this past weekend. It sounded like it was a fairly good weekend for public land hunting.
And Bob was talking about earlier when the first part of the show, there was some pretty good sized racks out there that were brought in this weekend.
There was.
Yep. Big deer being killed. And I think that really goes back to people are starting to let these younger deer walk. And they're starting, if you allow a deer to grow till he can reach maturity at, 4.5 years old, you just see much quality animal versus killing that 1.5 old, or 2.5. And it's tough, I know, to pass up a 2.5 or even a 3.5 year old. Most people aren't going to. But if our deer can survive to that 4.5, 5.5 year old, he's going to reach his potential. And I think that's ultimately is what's happening. People are starting to pass up on these little basket racks, and they're letting them grow up a little bit. So we're starting to see bigger, more mature deer being killed.
All right. Another question text in. Is buckshot now legal on management land deer hunts?
It is
Matt?
now. When did they change that? Last year, a year or two ago. Last year they changed it, so it is legal now on WMAs to use buckshot.
All right.
Yeah, because I think before they were allowing buckshot to be used during these dog hunts, but it was illegal to use buckshot on WMA, so they had to go back and change that law to allow hunters to use buckshot on WMAs.
Okay.
Yep, they changed it about a year ago.
Another question text in. If you're on a dead-end road, can you sit on that road and hunt?
I'm assuming he's talking about on management areas. If the gate or if the road is closed, it's a closed road and it's got a gate on it where it's foot access only, then yes, that hunter can hunt on the road. When it becomes illegal is when that road is open for vehicle traffic. then you got to be that 50 yards off the road, like we talked about earlier. But if there's a gate up and the road is closed, yeah, you can hunt right on the road.
Okay. All right. Once again, you can call in questions or like that other guy did, a comment here to us at 912-427-3711. You can call them in. Leanne will write down and bring it into the studio, or you can text those questions or comments for the game wardens at 912-427-3711. We're going to take a quick break and then come back with more information with our game wardens here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup.
Interstate Credit Union has all the ingredients you need of a financial institution, and we have 5 branch locations to serve you. You get the services you need, and your money stays here in the community. You can relax because you're doing business with people you know and people who know you. Membership is open to 10 counties. It's easy to join, so call, click, or stop by one of our 5 branch locations and become a member today. Member NCUA.
Sloan Deer Processing, owned and operated by Sandra and Jerry Sloan. 7 days a week, they'll be there for all your processing needs. They'll skin and clean the deer for you and make sausage, cube steak, hamburger meat, stew meat, and also slice for jerky. So bring them on. Look for their new sign on Highway 301 in the Broadhurst area. State inspected and certified. Sloan Deer Processing. When you're ready, they're ready. 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. Call Sandra at 202-6681, 202-6681, or Jerry at 202-7388, 202-7388. Sloan Deer Processing.
Harris Real Estate has been serving this area since 1972, and we proudly state that real estate is our business. Whether it's a home, rental, commercial endeavor, or land, we can help serve you. Give us a call at 427-6028 or stop by the office located at 141 East Cherry Street. Visit our website at www.harris-realty.net. Harris Real Estate is owned and operated by Mark Williams. Call us today for all your real estate needs.
Good morning. You're listening to WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. Butch Hubbard here with you. And it's our annual DNR show. We got game wardens Bob and Matt in here this morning, and they will take your questions, anything to do with the upcoming hunting season or anything at all in the management areas or the hunting areas or rules, regulations, hunting safety, hunting safety courses, anything to do at all with DNR. You can call the questions in at 912-427-3711, or you can text in the questions to the same number at 912-427-3711. All right, speaking about hunter safety, let's move over to that, to the courses.
Okay, hunter education here, or pretty much anybody in the state, if you're born after January 1st, 1961, and you're hunting over on either on public land or on somebody else's property, then you have to have hunter education, okay? If you're on your property, that property is deeded in your name, so your name is on that deed, then you don't have to have a license or hunter education, okay? But other than that, everybody else born after January 1st, 1961 has to have hunter education, all right? Hunters 12 to 15, we covered this earlier. If they want to hunt by themselves, they have to have hunter education, okay? If they're with a licensed adult, then they don't have to have hunter education. Before they can legally buy a hunting license at the age of 16, they have to have hunter education.
Okay. I do want to tell folks, if they're calling in questions and they don't get an answer, that means that Leanne's writing down a question from someone else. So if the automation picks up, just hang up and call back a couple of minutes later, and she will take your question down. Because she's only one person out there, and if both lines are ringing, then she can't answer them both at the same time. Somebody wants to know, why don't they have more deer hunts on places like Griffin Ridge?
That would be a question that I, again, would have to refer down to game management. They set up the hunts. I think they go in and they'll do surveys. So the more deer that they can get in a survey, the more hunts they'll have. The fewer the deer, then the fewer the hunts. And that's just so they can try to raise deer and keep the population at a certain level. If there's too many deer, they'll have more hunts. If there's not enough, then they won't have quite as many. Okay. All right. That answers that question. Yep. Back to hunter ed. Yep. again, I said this earlier, if you're under the age of 12, even with hunter education, you still cannot hunt by yourself, okay? And under the age of 12, you have to be with a licensed adult.
Okay. All right, let's ask this question to Matt over here. Has anything changed on trapping? Somebody just sent that one in.
Not since I've been a game warden.
No,
Nothing's changed, and that's in the past year and a half. So everything, all the rules that have been out about trapping still apply.
Okay.
Yep. No major changes in trapping.
All right. So no major changes in trapping.
Nope.
So they don't have to worry about if they did it last year, they can do it this year the same way, right?
Yep.
That's right.
Okay.
And the seasons and dates for trapping, again, is in our hunting regulation book. Our next hunter education class is November 5th and the 7th here in Wayne County. And that's going to be the same place we normally have it this time of year, at the Jesup Police Department. It'll start at 6 o'clock, run normally till about 10 o'clock. We just had our big class. Here in Wayne County, we have a big class every August. And this year, we had around 50 or 60, I think. But that's one of the largest hunter education classes throughout the state. We want to definitely give thanks to our volunteer instructors, Ricky Stringer, James Carter, Jerome Leggett come out and helped us out this year. Those guys do a great job. We had the sponsoring class was the state chapter, okay, for the NWTF, and also House of Worship, Pastor Mickey Tomlin. I want to give a big shout out for them guys for helping us out and letting us use the church out there.
All right. Somebody on the hunter safety thing here, somebody sent in, reminder, hunter ed, if you hunt in other states, you have a license. You can read that the way it was written down. I'm not exactly sure if they're commenting or if it's a question.
It looks like a comment.
Uh-huh.
If you hunt other states, before that state, I think they're saying regardless of your age. See, in Georgia, if you're born after 1961, you have to have it. If, say, somebody before that or somebody that was born before 1961 goes and hunt in another state, before they can buy a license, they have to have and produce a hunter education
so just
card.
Check the regulations the states are going to be hunting.
Yeah, every state is different, but most of them will require that those non-residents have hunter education.
All right. We continue on with our annual DNR show here on WIFO FM in Jesup with our game wardens in this morning. Another question text in, when are they planning opening oyster picking season?
Any idea, Matt?
I haven't heard. I know actually, let's see, down in Glen, Camden, with the ship incident down there, they've shut down shellfish harvesting down there. As far as McIntosh County goes, that's, the commissioner will open that up. And we haven't got word yet on that. It should be coming up, but it all has to do with the water temperature. So when they start falling, they start looking at opening it up. But we haven't got word on it. It should be coming up pretty soon.
Okay. All right. Another question text in. When someone says their boys are 7 and 4 and both are lifetime license holders, can they apply for the alligator permit?
I don't think there's any age restriction because now that they've, used to you had to be at least 12, so they did away with the age restriction. So yeah, I think they can start applying to get their alligator tags. The people that I've been talking with said that it's been taking them 4 to 5 years to get their tag. So, if they're 7, then that'd probably be 12 or 13 before they got their tag. So yeah, they can start applying for it.
All right. Another question text in. If a child is 16 already, if a child is 16 already but hasn't completed a hunter safety course, can they still hunt with an adult?
As long as they don't have a gun, because as soon as they put a gun in their hands, then they're hunting. So by law, they have to have a license. They can't buy a license unless they've had hunter education.
Okay, so then, yes, basically.
And if you don't want to wait till November 5th to sign up for that class, you can go online, georgiawildlife.com, take an online course. You can take it at your own pace, and then once you finish, you mail in your results. They'll mail you your hunter education card. That's what most people are doing now because a lot of our hunter ed classes, we don't have enough participation this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you sign up, there's no guarantee we're going to give the class. It may be canceled anyway. So most people right now are going online and taking the online courses.
All right. Our annual DNR show this morning with our game wardens. We've got Bob White this morning and Matt.
Cyclistus. We'll get it down here before the end of the show.
I know I'll mess it up if I say it on the air. We got the game wardens in here this morning, and they're taking questions from you and giving all kinds of information. You can always text or call us because we're running Leanne back and forth. She's going to get her aerobics in this morning, running back and forth from her office in here, bringing in questions, and then of course they're popping up here on the screen. You can text us or call us at the same number at 912-427-3711. Somebody called in. Why can't a disabled vet use four-wheelers behind gates?
Again, a lot of these game management questions like this that I would refer to game management that in Brunswick. That number was 262-3173, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But four-wheelers are allowed during small game and big game hunts, just not behind the closed gates. All right. But so if you need to get around, you can drive your four-wheelers on these open and improved roads. You just can't drive around these closed gates.
Yep. And they're starting to put in some handicap accessible roads on some of these WMAs, and they actually have handicap signs like you see at if you go to the grocery store somewhere to park.
Okay.
And also, like you said, refer to game management because they do offer some permits from some mobility impaired people. They'll offer specialty permits. We get, I don't know, few of those each year that come down to us just letting us know, they have access to use their buggy or whatever their means of transportation is to hunt and get behind certain gates on WMAs. But if that gate's closed, you're still not going to be able to access behind it. You're going to have to use one of those handicap accessible roads.
All right, we got a lot of questions here in front of me on the screen and in front of me right here. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more of the DNR show. You can call or text your questions in at 912-427-3711. We'll be back in just a moment here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup.
The Jesup Tire Shop has been serving this area since 1942, and they have all your tire, brake, and exhaust needs. Jesup Tire has car, truck, farm, and industrial tires. As your need for tires change, Jesup Tire is there to meet those needs with Toyo, Cooper, and Goodyear. They'll change the way you drive forever. Get the right tire for your vehicle at the Jesup Tire Shop. Stay with the folks that know the tire business because tires is their business. Jesup Tire Shop, located at 795 West Cherry Street in Jesup.
Jesup Tire Shop for all your hunting tire needs.
Change is one big thing you can count on. And as life changes, you can count on Altamaha Federal Credit Union to help keep you and your family's finances on solid ground. We'll help you keep more of what you earn and make the most of what you have. Visit us to see how we can guide you and your family towards financial success through all life's changes. Altamaha Federal Credit Union, Jesup, Ludowici, and Scriven. Visit us at altamaha.org. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to WIFO FM in Jesup, 105.5 on your FM dial. Butch Hubbard here with you, our annual DNR show with our game wardens in to answer your questions and to give out helpful information so you can have a safe hunting season and legal hunting season. Bob, someone just texted in, is there a charge to take the hunter safety course class online?
I believe there is a charge, and if you'll go to georgiawildlife.com, there's about 3 or 4 different courses that are offered, and all right, Randy's calling us now. Randy, you're a little late.
Oh, better late than never, boy.
But the online courses, they're a little different. They're put out by different vendors. The cheapest being $9.95, I think. The most expensive being around $25 or $30. They're all good. I'm not gonna. And Randy,
tell me you're live on the air.
He's calling me on my other phone.
Oh, boy.
So, yes, there is a charge for our online courses. For the walk-in class, there is no charge for that. But like I said, this time of year where you don't have enough participation, so most of those classes are going to be canceled. Now, sometimes if we get 10 or 12, now we'll give the class, but we just can't warrant giving a class for 1 or 2 people.
Okay. All right. Let's see here.
Go to the Hunter Ed classes. Just be sure to check if you signed up for one or think you signed up. Most of the time, our information will be there on that sign up, and just double check, because I actually had a class set for yesterday actually, and had to cancel it because we didn't have enough participation. So just double check if you think you've signed up before you commit to going out there and making sure we're still holding the class.
We've been doing this show with your Rangers for many, many years now, and sometimes, you think that you've heard all the questions before, and some of them are variations of the same questions. We do get new ones each year. This is a new one on me, okay? This says, why can't you train coyote and fox dogs certain times of the year on WMAs, but you can never train deer dogs anywhere, anytime? Once again, why can you train coyote and fox dogs certain times of the year on WMAs, but you can never train deer dogs anywhere, anytime?
I think that's because the fawn are so young up until deer season that if you're out there chasing around with dogs, the dogs may catch them and kill them. So we want to give the fawn time to grow up enough where they can escape, the dogs that are pursuing them.
Okay, good answer. Okay, another question. This one called in. Do you have to sign in once a day on management area, or just once a season?
It's once per hunt.
So whatever hunt.
So say that particular WMA has a 1-week hunt or a 5-day hunt or whatever. You have to sign in that one time per hunt. So if it closes and it's out for a week or a month or whatever, and it comes back in, then you have to go and sign back in. So it's one time per hunt.
Okay, one time per hunt. You got to sign in.
Yep.
All right. Another question text in. Why can't the price of a license go up for Why can't the price of a license go up for like Florida? Maybe slow them down.
Well, we actually did have our first increase in probably 20 years, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 20 years.
So we just had it was a major increase, matter of fact, and we don't increase our license to deter hunting. We want to attract hunters. That's how the state will raise money through license sales.
Okay, so it did go up, but
right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I have no idea what this is. All right. Did Bob start referring to himself as Bob instead of Chad for the quail reference?
Yeah, growing up in Alma, everybody knows me as Chad. So whenever I graduated high school, I joined the Marine Corps, and everybody started calling me Bob. So it just kind of stuck. When I come back home, I just kept using my first name. Chad is my middle name. Mm-hmm. So if anybody refers to me as Chad, they're from Alma.
They're from Alma because that's
my middle name, and that's what I went by in high school. So now everybody knows me as Bobby, and like I said, people from Alma, they still refer to me as Chad, and that's fine. I answered either one.
Okay, either one. Still both of your names. That happens a lot, My legal name is Charles, but my nickname is Butch, and so if people call me Charles, they usually went to school with me.
Right. Yep.
It's family and friends. It's usually Butch.
Same.
And years ago, I mean, you're pretty young, but years ago, back from the 1900s all the way up until about the 1960s, especially in the rural areas, men were called by their middle name. Mm-hmm. Instead of their first name. A lot of them did.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that was in my case. I was they were called by my middle name, and that's what I used growing up, and just didn't know any different until I joined the military, and then everybody started using my first name, and it just kind of stuck.
Okay. Somebody texted in, is it legal to run rabbits with beagles during small game season on management areas?
Again, if that management area is open, then yeah, you can run the rabbits with your beagles.
Okay.
But again, refer to the regulation book under that particular WMA and just see if the seasons are in.
All right. Our annual hunting show, hunting and fishing. If you have any questions about food, we had a question about oysters a little while ago. But we do have the DNR rangers in here, and of course our game wardens, the DNR game wardens in this morning, and they're taking your questions at 912-427-3711, and also giving out helpful information so you can have a safe and legal hunting season. Somebody called in, can you shoot a deer with a 410 slug?
410 slug, I don't know. Let me look under legal weapons in the regulation book.
I don't think so. I think it's got to be 20 gauge or larger.
20 gauge or larger?
All
right.
So 20 gauge, 12 gauge, 10 gauge.
Yeah, I don't think
I have
410
to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 20 gauge or larger.
Yeah, that's not going to be legal.
Okay.
But the question I got here says from over on Rogers Track, the logging company messed up the roads. Can you get someone to grade the roads? Again, we're law enforcement, so any of the game management type questions are going to again have to refer down to the Brunswick office, 912-262-3173. When it comes to closing gates, why gates are closed, maintaining roads, refer to game management. Give them a call, and then you can ask them your questions.
Now, game management down in Brunswick, y'all enforce, but game management manages and sets rules and regulations for the area.
We enforce the laws. Game management, they improve the roads, they put up the gates, they plant the food plots, they manage the hunts, etc.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Older guys, women, retired. That's what it says here. Do they? Is there a permanent license after a certain age, or is there a lifetime license for hunting and fishing? So, if you get a certain age, do you have to? Is there a permanent lifetime, or what is it?
We're double checking on that, but it is 65 is the age. Once you're turn 65, you can get that lifetime license. And it's a free senior lifetime sportsman's license. So the age 65, you can get that free.
So I can get it free
license.
now. I just turned 65.
Yes, sir. You're good to go.
I get to hunt and fish free.
That's it.
Lifetime. Well,
let me correct you there, Matt. It used to be free.
It used to be.
It used to be. All right. Since our license increased, now for hunting and fishing, you turn 65 or plus or older. It's $35, but then you'll never have to buy another. It's free if you were born before June the 30th, 1952.
Okay.
So if you turn 65 and you're born after June the 30th, 1952, then it costs you $35.
All right, $35.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. There's a 60 to 64 lifetime license. And it says it's a senior discount lifetime sportsman's license from the ages of 60 to 64 is $315. And there's another one here, an older adult lifetime sportsman's license. That's from ages 50 to 59 is $375.
Okay.
And Randy's calling me again.
Well, just pick it up and say, Randy, we're doing the show. Why aren't you here? He's going to pest you to death. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on our DNR show. You're listening to WIFO 105.5 FM. We'll be back. More of your questions and comments, and also more information from our game wardens. Stay tuned.
Interstate Credit Union has all the ingredients you need of a financial institution, and we have 5 branch locations to serve you. You get the services you need, and your money stays here in the community. You can relax because you're doing business with people you know and people who know you. Membership is open to 10 counties. It's easy to join, so call, click, or stop by one of our 5 branch locations and become a member today. Member NCUA.
Sloan Deer Processing, owned and operated by Sandra and Jerry Sloan. 7 days a week, they'll be there for all your processing needs. They'll skin and clean the deer for you and make sausage, cube steak, hamburger meat, stew meat, and also slice for jerky. So bring them on. Look for their new sign on Highway 301 in the Broadhurst area. State inspected and certified. Sloan Deer Processing. When you're ready, they're ready. 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. Call Sandra at 202-6681, 202-6681, or Jerry at 202-7388, 202-7388. Sloan Deer Processing.
Harris Real
WIFO.
Estate has been serving this area since 1972, and we proudly state that real estate is our business. Whether it's a home, rental, commercial endeavor, or land, we can help serve you. Give us a call at 427-6028 or stop by the office located at 141 East Cherry Street. Visit our website at www.harris-realty.net. Harris Real Estate is owned and operated by Mark Williams. Call us today for all your real estate needs.
WIFO FM in Jesup, 105.5 on your FM dial. Butch Hubbard here with you, our annual DNR show with two game wardens in here this morning, Bob and Matt. And you've got that question there, or more of a comment. Y'all can go ahead and try to respond to it. Matt?
Well, it says, why would the law make it legal for a felon to hunt 30 caliber and higher air gun? If it can kill a deer, it can kill a human silently. It's going to be a question for your lawmakers there, but right now they're not lumping air guns in the category as firearms.
Right. That's for the lawmakers.
That's right. That's going to be on the lawmaker side.
Okay. All right. WIFO FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. And let's continue on. What information else did you bring in this morning there, Bob, that you want to talk about? You got a lot of notes there.
Let's see. We got wildlife management areas. I talk about this every year. If they don't have private property, and land can be very expensive, and not everybody can afford, to go out and buy land to hunt on, and not everybody has family, that just owns lots of land to hunt on. So the state, in turn, will go out and buy and lease property for the public to go hunt on.
Right. Here
in Wayne County, we've got Sanzavilla, Penn Holloway, Little Satilla, Rogers Track. That's probably 50,000 acres of public land just here in Wayne County that we get and manage for the public to go hunting. Over in Long County, we got Griffin Ridge. We just got Morgan Lake a couple of years ago, which is archery only. It's 1,100 acres. We got Morgan Lake pretty much just for people to fish on. But it did come with 1,100 acres of property, so that is archery only over there. We got Townsend WMA, that's over 32,000 acres, including Pine Island, Buck Island, then Middleton Lake WMA. So there's lots of opportunity for people to hunt if you cannot buy your own property or afford property, or you don't have family that owns property. We have plenty of WMAs here in just Wayne County and Long County for the public to go hunt on. Some of the rules that we see broken a good bit is people not checking the regulation book. All right, so if you you want to go hunting on Little Satilla, look up Little Satilla in your regulation book to make sure it is open for whatever game you're after. Okay, that's a big mistake a lot of people make. They say, oh, it's deer season, let's go, to wherever. Mm-hmm. And that particular WMA is not open at that time.
Right.
So check your regulation books, make sure that particular WMA is open for the particular game that you're going after. Because WMAs, their hunts don't coincide with the state dates.
Right.
They'll have their own individual hunting dates. So check that regulation book before you go. Another big thing, baiting. We don't allow baiting on WMAs because our WMAs are for the public to use. And say we get a hunter, he goes out there and he throws out corn or bait in a particular area. He's claiming that area as his own, and you can't do that because it's all public land.
Right.
So if he goes in there, early in the morning, somebody's already in his area, then he's going to get upset. So, for that reason, we don't allow baiting. Target practicing. You can't go out just anywhere and throw up a target and start shooting a gun. There's particular Big Hammock has the only target range. We don't have any more around here, do we?
Not around here. The big one is Richmond Hill. They
is
just
the other
opened.
one, and that's the only 2 target ranges that we have. So don't go out there on our WMAs and just set up a target and go to blasting your guns, because that's illegal. You can't do it.
Okay.
All right.
Once again, you can call in or text in questions or comments for our game wardens this morning. You can call them in or text them in, same number, 912-427-3711. So if you have any questions or comments for our game wardens this morning, this is the time to do it, because we have just a little while longer here for the show this morning. So 912-427-3711. If you call it, Leanne will write down the question, bring it in, and they'll answer. Or you can text it in. It'll pop up here on the computer screen at 912-427-3711. If you have texted one in and I have not read it on the air and asked them that question, send it again, because it might get lost out there in text land somewhere. And we do have the game wardens in this morning to talk about the upcoming hunting season, with the major hunting season opening up this Saturday right before sunrise, right?
That's right.
Okay.
30 minutes before sunrise.
30 minutes
And
before
again,
sunrise.
remember, this weekend is buck only.
Buck only
No
for
does
Saturday.
allowed Saturday or Sunday.
Okay. Tell us about the hunting clubs around here. What kind of working relationship do the game wardens have with the hunting clubs, and how many are they, and is it a pretty big thing around here?
Hunting, yes, is a very big thing in Georgia.
The clubs themselves, you got the organized people who have the land. They got maybe some huts
Right.
there or small cabins or
Right.
something. Yeah.
Most of our hunting clubs they're really good guys, great guys. They try to raise deer. They try to grow them. They don't, most of them don't shoot these smaller bucks. They let them grow. So in turn, again, we're starting to see much bigger deer because of that. And so we definitely attribute that to our good hunting clubs that we have around here in Wayne and Long County. They're, like I said, letting these smaller bucks grow. They're planting food plots. They're feeding them, and they're in turn growing some really big deer for us.
Okay. All right. Now, Matt, you've been a game warden now for about a year and a half. What have you seen that kind of surprises you? You went through all your courses and so forth. You're out there. You're trying to enforce the rules and regulations set down by the lawmakers and by your department. What have you seen out there that just says, "Wow, I didn't expect that"?
I guess really the amount of people that take advantage of our public lands down here. I'm originally from North Georgia, and we do have some WMAs up there. They get busy, but it just down here in South Georgia, I mean statewide, there seems to be a greater population of folks that get out and hunt and enjoy the outdoors. I mean, you have the Altamaha River here, which you about got to bring your own water now to get on, so there's not much activity on there. But it's just the amount of people that get out and take advantage of the opportunities that are given to them. Most of the people I've met down here, great people, and I enjoy it down here. One thing I can say is just be safe when you go out there to hunt. I mean, these opportunities are given to you. We've had several search and rescues since I've been on where we've had to go in and locate people that have gotten turned around in the woods. And it's easy to do.
It's easy to do. You get out there.
Swamps down here, and there's a lot of acreage. So,
Especially after dark.
After dark is when you really, really can get turned around. So that's it. It's just I've enjoyed meeting the people down here, getting to know the citizens, and like I said, working with our local hunt clubs and getting to know those folks.
Okay. And what made you decide to become a game warden? Because they've talked in the past before about how people can apply to become a game warden, what process you go through. What made you decide to become a game warden, Matt?
Just growing up in the woods and on the water, I had some people kind of deter me from it. They said, well, if you do that job, you're not going to have time to hunt or fish, and that's actually not true. I mean, we do get time off during the seasons. We work some different hours, but I just want to be able to help enforce these laws and, make sure there's hunting and fishing opportunities, outdoor opportunities for the future generations. I saw opportunity to get in law enforcement where I could possibly help out and be outdoors and do it at the same time. Okay. So, and it's a great group. We're a fairly small law enforcement agency statewide. I think we got just over 200
for the entire state of Georgia.
Wow.
So we're definitely 200
small
game wardens for all that.
for the entire
That's
state.
right.
Millions of acres.
And that
includes our not commissioner, but our colonels, all the way down. There's 200 of us for the entire state.
So, and it was a lengthy process. It took me about a year from when I applied to get the word I was going to be hired, and then going through 6 months of training.
Right.
Yep.
And,
And to be a game warden, you got to be at least 21. Got to be a U.S. citizen, have a driver's license. A lot of the big kicker for a lot of guys, you got to have 90 quarter hours of college, which is about 2 years worth of college.
Then you had to graduate. You just got to have.
You just got to have 90 quarter hours of college.
Okay.
And there was talk and rumors about we may be changing that to allow so many years of either military or law enforcement in lieu of the college.
Okay.
I don't know that that's changed yet. But you got to pass a reading test, a writing and math test. You got to pass a background check, a physical agility test, which is a 1.5 mile run, a swim, and then once you pass all that, you'll be, if you're selected, go through the training at the academy, which was how long now?
20? For me, it was 26. I think now, since they've combined academies and we're doing it all, per se, in-house, it's 23 weeks, I think. And that's all in Forsyth, Georgia. You go to the big training center up there, so you report Sunday afternoons, and you go home Fridays, so you're home on, for a little bit of the weekend, but it's a Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. Starting salary, $42,000.
$42,000. And so if a person out there is thinking, well, either they might want to look into it, or they have a son or daughter or nephew or whatever, how do they go into looking into it?
Just go to the just regular state merit application, fill it out, send it in, and we'll be in contact with you.
Okay. Yep. And they're always looking for a few good men and women.
That's right. We are.
Men and women.
We got another academy starting in January, and then they look at the budget every year and see if they're going to be able to do another the following year and open up the hiring application. So just go online. You can go to the, I think it's DNRLE website, and it'll have info on there.
And it may be at the GeorgiaWildlife.com, because there's a bunch of tabs up top. Once you go to that website, that'll have law enforcement, coastal resources, the EPD, information on all the different groups that's dealing with DNR.
All right. GeorgiaWildlife.com, with Georgia spelled out. GeorgiaWildlife.com. It's got all the icons on there that you can click on for information you want to know about hunting and fishing and anything else when it comes to DNR in the state of Georgia. All right, we're going to take a quick break. If you have any questions or comments for our game wardens this morning, this is the time to do it. Call them in at 912-427-3711. Liam will write them down and bring them into the studio. Or you can text them in at 912-427-3711. It'll pop up on our computer screen here, and I'll ask the game wardens that question. 912-427-3711. More of our DNR show in a moment.
The Jesup Tire Shop has been serving this area since 1942, and they have all your tire, brake, and exhaust needs. Jesup Tire has car, truck, farm, and industrial tires. As your need for tires change, Jesup Tire is there to meet those needs with Toyo, Cooper, and Goodyear. They'll change the way you drive forever. Get the right tire for your vehicle at the Jesup Tire Shop. Stay with the folks that know the tire business, because tires is their business. Jesup Tire Shop, located at 795 West Cherry Street in Jesup.
Jesup Tire Shop for all your hunting tire needs.
Change is one big thing you can count on. And as life changes, you can count on Altamaha Federal Credit Union to help keep you and your family's finances on solid ground. We'll help you keep more of what you earn and make the most of what you have. Visit us to see how we can guide you and your family towards financial success through all life's changes. Altamaha Federal Credit Union, Jesup, Ludowici, and Scriven. Visit us at altamaha.org. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. Good morning, Butch Hubbard here with you. It's our annual DNR show with the game wardens in here this morning, Bob and Matt, taking your questions, giving you information so you can have a safe and legal hunt this year as you're out there in the woods here in this area. So if you have any questions or comments at all, or if you want to, you can call them in at 912-427-3711. Liam will write down the question or comment and bring it into the studio, and we'll ask that question over the air. Or you can text the questions or comments in, text them in at 912-427-3711. This is your chance to ask a game warden anything that you want to ask them, and they're here. And, Bob, what other information we need to pass along to our listeners this morning?
Okay, we'll talk about the boater education. That's something that was passed several years ago, that everyone born after January the 1st, 1998 before you operate a boat on public waters, you have to have the boater's education. Okay, we do offer classes. It's in classrooms. Normally they're scheduled like during the spring. We typically will give the class on a Saturday. It's like an all-day class. With boater's education now, there is a lot of information, and to sit down for a 12-year-old or young student to sit down and take this information, this class in one day, he is bombarded with just a ton of information, and then he's required to take and pass a test at the end of the day. All right, the easiest way is go online, goboatgeorgia.com.
Goboatgeorgia.com?
That's right. Take the online course. You can take the course at your own pace. If it takes you a day, a week, or a month to take the course, that's the easiest way to do it. Print out the results, send it to them. They'll mail you your Boater's Ed card in the mail.
Okay. And we had a question just brought in here. Where are the wild hogs at in Penn Holloway and San Zavilla?
Where are they at?
Anywhere they want to be.
Y'all go wherever he wants to go. Typically, they're going to be down near water, but just get out there and scout around. They shouldn't be too hard to find. Hogs they're everywhere right now, and just get out there and find them. Do some scouting. Go down to your swampy areas where it's nice and cool and very wet. And normally there's some hogs laid up down there.
Okay. Yeah, usually that's the areas they are, but they go anywhere and
that's
everywhere.
Right, wherever the food is. So, and like on these private hunt clubs, they complain about the hogs, but if you're putting corn out, the hog's going to be there. They will find that corn, find that feeder, and they will not leave until the corn is gone. So stop putting corn out, and the hogs will hopefully, disappear.
Okay. It's kind of like feeding the cat when it comes up to your house. You feed it once, it's coming back.
If the food's there, they're going to be there.
Oh, okay. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, you can text them in at 912-427-3711. I keep looking back through the text messages here to make sure I haven't missed any because sometimes they don't come in order. But I don't see that I've missed any. If you've texted in a question or comment for the game wardens and we have not asked that question to them, text it again at 912-427-3711. Other information you'd like to pass along, Bob?
Yep, our Ranger hotline. Like the caller earlier was talking about someone was hunting on their property without permission. To report poaching, call our 1-800 number. It's 1-800-241-4113. You can save that in your phone and just call it. You can remain anonymous. There's also money that is given, so like a reward. So if you call in and say there's somebody poaching, doing something they ain't supposed to do, and they're caught and they're convicted, then you are eligible for a reward for certain cases.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
Another
so
question.
It's 800-241-4113.
So you can call in.
That's our Ranger hotline number.
Once again?
800-241-4113.
All right. Another question. Text in. Is there any truth to two young boys helping an old man drag a deer out of the what? I was thinking about is when you text stuff in, sometimes it changes a little bit. Is there any truth to two young boys helping an old man drag out a deer? It was all over social media. If so, did they get caught?
Haven't heard about that case.
Heard about that.
It was on a management area this weekend.
I haven't heard about that.
Would that be a problem?
Don't know. I don't see the issue there. If I see an elderly hunter dragging a deer out, I'm gonna help him too. So, but I don't know the what circumstances surround that particular incident.
All right. There's a one word in there that goes, and I don't know if it's two words because it says out of the steal it. And I don't know what they mean by that because sometimes people, they'll voicemail their text message and
it's spelled wrong.
It's spelled wrong or it's a different word or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that particular case.
Okay. because there was some legal hunting going on this past weekend. People might not have known about that.
Yes. On our WMAs, we had a early check-in hunt on Sandsville, Penn Holloway, and over in Long County on the Buck Island, Pine Island track.
Okay. All right, you're listening to our annual DNR show right here on Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. If you have any questions or comments, just text them in at 912-427-3711. It says the young boy stole the deer.
Stole the deer.
They were helping him take it out and then stole the deer.
Huh.
And
I haven't heard about that.
And that,
now, that's wanting the deer pretty bad.
Yeah, you steal a deer from an old man. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
They say it's on social media, and so I don't know.
Yeah, haven't heard about that one. But
Haven't heard about
that's
that.
wanting the deer pretty bad. Deer aren't that hard to go out and legally hunt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so maybe it was a big buck or something. I don't know. Hadn't heard about it.
That's a shame.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad. Yeah, and that's the thing about social media these days. You can hardly do anything anywhere these days without finding yourself. Most everybody's got smartphones and stuff like that. So if you're out and about, and just think about you're going to be recorded.
And you can't believe everything that you hear on social media.
No, you'd have to see it, not hear it, because Bob and I talk about that a lot. It's known as face crack instead of Facebook, because there's so many people that put stuff on there that is just flat out not true.
Yeah.
And there's no fact checkers or anything like that.
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything like that.
All right, are dog hunters allowed to hunt from county roads? They do it in Odom, so are they exempt?
They can catch their dogs from the county road. They cannot hunt from the public road. So if they go out and they're catching their dogs, they're good. They're fine. They can't enter property without permission. Okay, so as long as they're in the ditch and on the roadway without a gun in hand, then they're fine. So as soon as they pick a gun up, then they're considered hunting, and that would be against the law.
Okay. All right. Somebody just texted in a question. They said they have lived in Georgia 30 years. My work is taking me out of state. How long do I need to reside back in Georgia before I get my residence license again?
90 days.
Okay. 90 days?
90 days, yep.
90
you have
days.
to live here in Georgia for 90 consecutive days, and then you can buy your resident license. Before that, so if you come back and it's only been 30 days or so, then you have to buy that non-resident license.
All right. Another question just texted in. How much more cutting will be done in Sandsville, the timberland is?
Again, we have to refer that to game management.
Game management.
Yeah, we're just law enforcement. We don't deal with timber and maintaining roads and stuff. So give game management a call, 262-3173 down in Brunswick, and they should be able to help you out down there with that.
Okay, because game management does all that. Y'all just go out there and enforce rules and regulations.
Right. Check the hunters and stuff like that. Check, make sure people are being safe and legal.
Have y'all had any problems in the last, let's say, a couple of months with the river being low, with people getting hung up down there, or?
There's been a few cases, and knock on wood, we're so lucky there hadn't been more, because people are still going fishing, and they're really catching good fish. Bass are biting really good. White perch are biting really good. But there's only been a few instances where people are, messing up their motors by hitting the sandbars or whatever and getting them clogged up. I was down there a couple of weeks ago and got my motor clogged up, had to take out the thermostat. But luckily I made it back to the landing safely. So, but yeah, it's very dangerous. Been here since 1998. And I don't remember ever seeing this river as low as it is right now.
It's been a long time.
Been very low. There was one time back in the early 2000s where it got low, and it actually registered on the level below a foot. And I think now maybe 1.9 or something, but it seems lower now than what it was back then.
We've been lucky the last several years for the river to be as high as it has been, even during the summer.
Yeah,
and
the high water definitely helps the fish, helps them to grow, and they can get out there in the woods and feed. But now when it's low like this, they're easily caught. And like I said, they're doing really well right now with the bass, catfish even. I guess just because they're not spread out, so they're all kind of confined in one area, and they're just easily caught.
Okay. All right. Any other final information you'd like to pass along to our listeners? here on before we wrap up our show this morning, guys?
Just remember a couple of numbers that we have. A Ranger hotline number is 241-4113. That's to report any poaching that goes on here in the state of Georgia. And again, you can remain anonymous. Our other 1-800 number is 1-800-366-2661. That's where you can buy a license, hunting and fishing license. You can register your boat. You can renew your boat registration. You can do the game check. You can replace your Hunter Ed, Boater Ed cards at that 1-800 number. Remember to download our Go Outdoors app. It's Outdoors Georgia. You can also look at your current license with that app. You can buy a new license, register your boat. You can look at some of our WMA maps, and you can do your game check as well on that Go Outdoors app.
Okay. And the person that sent in that question about the how many days to be back, be a resident, he said thanks.
Okay, you're welcome.
He said thanks. I don't know if we have any other questions. I don't see. I know the phone's lit up right now, but I'm not sure if another one's come in. Yep, here she comes. Spaghetti. Trying to get this question in here before we wrap up. We usually go to around 10:30. And let's see what we have here. Someone said years of logging the river swamp has filled the river with erosion and silt and has changed the water level.
Yeah, I can agree with that because I'm telling you, it's definitely lower now than it was back years ago, early 2000s, whenever it was so low. It registered back then at 0.9. I remember it going down to 0.9. And like I said, now it only is like 1.9, but it's lower now than what it was back then.
Okay. Well, luckily, it's supposed to get back up to 4 feet in the next week. And so get back up there a little bit as some of that rain up there in middle Georgia and upper Georgia starts coming down our way. And it's predicted to get it back up to about 4 feet.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, Matt, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come here on our annual DNR show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. We've had lots of questions. We got tons of paper around here. The text messages have come in left, right, forwards, and backwards. And we hopefully got to all the questions out there that people have texted in. One more here. Do you get a paper license? Do you have to have a paper license or
you do not,
person, or is it licensed on the phone?
Yes, if you have your license where you can pull it up on your phone, that's why we recommend download the app so you can store your license, because sometimes we get out there in the woods and you say, well, I got them on my phone. When you don't have service, well, you can't pull it up. Okay, so and there's cell phone services not everywhere out there in the woods, so download the app. You can save your license, and therein you do not need the paper copy of your license as long as you can pull it up on your phone.
App. Okay.
Yeah, you can actually store multiple people's license on your app. So if you hunt, with your kids, a wife, a husband, brother, sister, whoever, you can put everybody's license on one phone, and you can pull it up, and we can check everybody right there.
Well, that's I know last year that's what the Jacksonville Jaguars did. They changed it from paper tickets to now you download their app, and when you go through there, you bring up the page, and it just scans your ticket right there on your smartphone.
Yep.
I guess if you don't have a smartphone, you're out of luck. just send me something in paper.
That's down in Jacksonville with the Jaguars, but here in Georgia, if you don't have a smartphone, you can still go print your license.
You can still go print your license out. Another question text in: why do we have so many coyotes? What can we do about it?
Coyotes have been becoming a problem for years and years. I can remember growing up, we didn't have coyotes back in the 80s, and then slowly they started appearing and growing and multiplying every year. And they say if we don't take care of at least 50% of the coyote population, they will only multiply every year. So we have to do what we can, to take care of that problem, whether it's trapping or hunting or whatever.
Is there a coyote season?
There is no coyote season. As long as you have permission, you can hunt coyotes year-round.
Permission from who?
The landowner.
The landowner.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So If it's private land, then make sure you have that landowner's permission. If it's a hunting club, you're a member of that club, then yeah, you can go out and hunt these coyotes year-round. You can hunt them daytime, you can hunt them nighttime, you can use electronic calls. There's no season, there's no limit. You can kill as many as you want.
And people do that for the sport and also to keep the population down, right?
That's right.
And,
Yeah.
and I think Georgia now, the past year or two, they've started doing that coyote challenge.
Yep.
Where I know one year they gave away a free lifetime license.
That's
I think.
right. Yep.
So check into that. That goes for.
And I think some states may even be offering bounties, but now Georgia has not got to that point yet. But we do recommend that these hunting clubs go out and try to take care of that population of the coyotes, because, like I said, they will multiply every year if we don't kill at least 50% of.
Do you have to have a hunting license to do it?
You do have to have a hunting license.
Because someone just texted in, will we get in trouble shooting coyotes during deer season?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's the reason why I said I don't. Maybe if they thought about the license thing.
Yeah, as long as you have permission where you're at, and yeah, you can hunt coyotes year-round, daytime or nighttime.
All right. Well, guys, once again, thank you very much for coming in.
You're welcome.
Y'all have a very safe first regular season of hunting this Saturday and Sunday. And once again, Bob, they can only hunt what Saturday and Sunday?
Buck only.
Buck only.
Yep.
Doe
No
starts
does
on
allowed.
Monday. All right.
No does allowed.
Take care. Good seeing you, Matt.
Yep.
You too. Thank you.